onto his back. So we looked at the guard position as a position, attacking position. We're now going to look at from the top person's perspective. Okay, so we already know that realistically we don't want our hands in this position, because if we do, he's going to take the arm off the centre line. He's going to then start attacking for arm bars and all that kind of stuff. And equally, I don't want my hands on the mat. All right, so if he takes my hands onto the mat, I'm no longer controlling his posture. Okay. So the great thing about jiu-jitsu is when you learn how to attack, you're probably learning how to defend as well. So my goal is to keep my hands on in this position. So if Jay tries to sit up and pull me down to break posture or anything, I've got good control. All right, okay. So from his position, I need to open his legs. So he's in a closed guard at the moment. So around the back, he's got his feet in this position. All right. So this means that I'm attached to Jason. So it's going to be really difficult to get round and continue my attacks. Here's a little bit of a 50-50 position from an MMA point of view. So I might be better on top, keeping posture and throwing strikes and things. He might be better at submitting. So this is where when you're with your partner, there may be more of an urgency to get out of this position and into a stronger position from top position. We've got a lot of position stuff. Okay, so what I like to do with my hands is a slight angle. Okay, so a diamond and then a slight angle. The reason why I do that is if he tries to pull both hands to the mat now, different angles. So it's not as easy. If my hands are in this position, it's very easy just to pull the hands straight onto the mat. So it also makes it a little easier to start stretching. Okay, so I don't want to be close to his hips. If I'm close to his hips, it's easy to break posture. The first thing we're going to do to get out is I'm going to take my left knee and put it into his butt crack. Okay, good morning. So here we go, into the butt crack, and then his back knee, I'm going to go long. Okay, so I'm creating an L shape. So if Jay just lifts up a second, yeah, I'm creating a long, I'm stretching his legs by creating this L shape position. Okay, this is what we call it, you know, cleverly enough, L shape. So once we do that, just so if you look at his legs at the moment, yeah, he pulls his knees to nose. Good posture. Put the hands in to block that kind of knees to nose thing. My head's looking up, he starts trying to do the same thing. Very difficult to break posture. So now I'm going to put the knee into the line of it, into the crack of the bottom. In. You see how his legs are now stretched. Okay. So his feet have gone from his comfortable position to now just kind of pinching at maybe the toes. And Jay's got some long legs as well. Okay. So once we're in this position, we've got that stretch. This always sucks. Okay. If anyone says it stops hurting, they'll lie to you, just get used to it. I'm going to put my elbow onto the thigh, just to break the posture in, okay? Don't go and elbow the knee, grind the knee in. You get enough just by just touching the elbow into there. Pain's the motivator, yeah? Pushing down helps a little bit, but when we first do this, it's pain that's motivating you to open your legs. All right, so here, 1, 2, and elbow down. Okay, once we've done that and we've opened the guard, this knee's going to come up in the air without touching any private parts and making it a self-defense situation, and we go into this position, which is called combat base. Okay, wait, please, Jay. So, first things first, he wants to break posture, I want to keep posture. Okay, knee into the butt line. Elbow into the thigh, knee up in this position. Let's give it a go. Please, we place our elbow a little close to the knee by putting the pressure and pressing down on the leg. We get a break as well. So if you get someone who's like being a little bit stubborn, or if they're just used to the pain, and again, I keep going back to this, you do just get used to the pain at some point. But the closer I go to the kneecap here, yeah, you're not relying on pain as much, but you can still open the guard. So a couple of things we just need to be careful of. We're never taking our head over here. Okay, so if my hip ends up coming up off the mat, I'll change the angle in a second, and my head's in this position, it's going to be a lot easier for Jason to break the posture, because my hands actually are ineffective in this position. Even if I push in, he can still bring his knees to nose and break posture. Okay, so that head alignment's really important. Again, we go back to that pull. It won't allow me to go forward. So everything we're doing is with good posture. Okay, so we open the guard, we come into combat base position. Alright, so the first guard we're going to learn is the harder guard, and there's a little bit more movement, but it's the better guard to get your head around to start off with, just because there's no quick movements, there's no exposure to your back and things like that. But everyone will go to the second one first because it's fun, it's exciting, it's a lot quicker. But the first one's the one that you're going to really implement in your game and keep control of the bottom person. Okay, so my knee is currently pointing towards the nose. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to turn my knee, so I just come up a little bit and I'm going to turn my knee out. And unfortunately, it's more pain against the thigh. I'm going to take my shin across the thigh. Okay, so I'm keeping my knee on the mat on this side and the foot on the mat on the inside. Alright, so here, this position. So my foot ends up in this place. So this is a knee overpass. So if you ever hear shouting, this is what I'm after, a knee overpass. So, we're here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my far side arm and go underneath the armpit. This is called an underhook, and we'll use lots of underhooks, okay? So we're just going to get to that position to start off with. So closed, everything's still the same, good posture. Knee over. Before I do any movement, I go a little bit lower and I keep this underhook on this, what we call far side. This is near side because this is the side I'm going to pass to. This is far side because the opposite. Okay, into this position. But just make sure that the shin stays connected to the thigh, this foot stays on the mat and this knee stays on the mat. That's how you're going to be able to pin down the leg. Alright, it hurts. So the first couple of times, you're going to hear a little squealing, a little bit of that kind of thing, because you've got a bony bit going across the thigh. Again, it's the guys who always make the best noises. Okay, so we're going to be filming throughout. Give it a go. 1, 2, 3. We need to kind of pin a little bit. So we're learning how to control someone's movement. And the good thing about this is we're learning to keep the person underneath on both butt cheeks and shoulders. If someone's on both butt cheeks and shoulders, they have a lot less opportunities of kind of moves, so it's a lot harder for them to move in different ways. Realistically, all they've got is a bridge, so just do a bridge with your foot, that's it. So that's what they've got if they've got both our cheeks and shoulders on the mat. Alright, so yeah, we've got all this good stuff going on. I'm always keeping that posture. I'm always keeping my posture here as well, okay? You don't want to lean down and do this, because if he grabs my hand and pushes my hand in, he's going to then go into a triangle position, okay? So posture is really important. So make sure you're not doing this to get extra force, because you actually put yourself in a position where you're exposed for a submission. Okay, knee comes up, leg slides across, hit our underhook. Okay, now this is a little bit harder. So I need to get the leg that's on the inside, out first. Because if I just slide this leg out, we end up in what's called a half guard. Okay, so hopefully that kind of makes sense why it's called half guard, because it's half of what we had previously. We've got full guard, this is half guard. He has some opportunities to try and get out of position. He also has some opportunities to start sweeping. That's when you take the top person and put them on the back. So when we say sweep, that's all that basically is. So we need to get this leg out first, okay? So once we're in this position, I'm going to drop my hip to the mat, but I'm going to keep this leg on the inside. This is really important. This arm here, just for now, is going to go underneath the neck. Just makes it a little easier, okay? So I drop my hip. As I drop my hip to the mat, I bring this leg out. You see how this foot's still in position, okay? So we've got this position here. We've all got there. As the hip drops, take that leg out, and then bring this leg out as well into side control, okay? Never looks that clean. So there's always going to be like people moving and doing stuff, but just for now, don't fight back. Worst MMA, but don't fight back. Okay, here, hit the underhook, arm round here, and then just take that leg out first, and then go, to the side. This is called side control. Think got that? Yeah. It's definitely this, which is the knee overpass, because this pass allows us to do things slowly. We don't have to rush, because we're pinning the thigh, we're keeping the hips and shoulders on the mat. This is something you can do as a slow progressive stuff. So if you think about how fights change, you see lulls, don't you? So you see people explode and then it kind of slows down a bit. And that slowing down can be for a couple of reasons. It could be because you want to change the tempo of a fight, or it could be you're just absolutely knackered. Okay, so this is a good one where you finally got the person on the mat and you just want to slow it down. You just want to stop their ability to pop straight back up or start attacking. Yeah, so this is one of my favourites. But everyone's going to love the baseball slide pass more. Okay, because it looks cool. So everything's still the same. All this is still the same. This is the difference. So instead of taking the knee across that way, okay, the knee's going to go across the thigh in this position. So it kind of crosses my body a little bit. Okay, so whereas here, my hip stays in line with Jay's body, this one, it goes out to the side a little bit. Okay, so this is the one where we do get a few more squeals usually. Okay, so the same thing happens. This knee goes on the mat, this leg stays here, and you underhook on this side. Okay, so you can see we're a little bit exposed with our back. The underhook's really important. If I just try and slide through in this position, Jay's going to take my back. Okay, you don't want Jay on your back. Okay, just as general life advice right now, don't let Jay on your back. Okay, so before I start progressing and try to pass, I have to make sure I've got my underhook. Okay, and then from here, this foot's already out, isn't it? So we don't need to worry about doing the back step because this leg's already on the outside. I'm going to come underneath here and slide through into what's called a scaffold. Okay. It's a bit quicker this time. So here, posture, slide, foot's already on the outside, and just underneath. Okay. This is a good one to do stood up as well. So we're working in this position. I've already stepped this leg on the outside, slide through and in. We're just going to do it from a kneeling position just at the moment. Yeah, but let's have a play. You have to hit that underhook. Before you do anything else and progress, hit the underhook. Okay, give it a go. 1, 2, 3.